I can't tell her like we almost done. If she could just chime in and be like, y'all don't seem almost done.
You trying to tell the truth now.
I don't
Listen, I'm a I played you.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, my bad. Didn't even recognize that. It's
Good
still
morning.
early.
Good morning.
You know, when it's early in the morning, sometimes like you don't get the opportunity to, you know, really think things through all the way because your brain is still warming up, like fog brain.
Nah, I felt like this has been a long con. You've been trying to play me.
What you mean?
I mean, you filmed me the past couple weeks without telling. Now I got to get dressed on a Sunday
This
morning.
time you know.
I don't know. Look at my kneecaps.
No, but
do they look like they know?
I swear to God, we had a conversation about this.
Nah,
I promise you we did.
not about like going with it now. It's all good. You seem nervous.
No, I'm good.
Like this is your first time.
What are you talking about? We've been outside and
You worried about
recorded in front of people and stuff like that. We've done everything.
know,
What
man,
am I worried about? The people that's been following us.
You got you put out your angel cap today.
Yeah, but that was more so because it's cold and I wanted to have something on top of my head. I need a beanie. 45 degrees, waking up is not doing nothing for me right now, bro. I promise you that.
You got a good sleep. No kids last night.
Who?
Y'all walk around buck naked?
Nah, bro. We went and ate, you know, for about an hour and a half, and it was so cold outside, and I was tired. She was not tired, but you know, outside activities. I asked her, I said, "Yo, you want to go to Flux?" And she was, for some reason, like that idea of like going out to eat and going to dinner with your partner for a celebration of like their birthday or, you know, a new promotion at their job, whatever it may be. And then you follow it by, let's go to the club. It just doesn't ring off the same like in your 30s. Like we were happy to come home and watch the Sandra Bullock movie on Netflix last night.
Okay.
Ecstatic about that.
Ecstatic, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. They tried to play her. She didn't talk the first 45 minutes of the movie. It was crazy. Like
It's like Will Smith and I Am Legend.
You know, I while you get this all queued up, I was I had a dream. So I fell asleep, you know, last night. Then I woke up at like 6, right? And then I was like, nah, I got a little bit more time and go back to sleep. So then I had a dream in that little hour window. And I had a dream that like you were like, yeah, it's the last pod. Then it dawned on me.
I've said that a few times, actually.
Right. It dawned on me, though, in the group chat, like a few weeks ago, you was like, yeah, you know, my only outlet is Sunday mornings with Carl. And I was like, he's going to be here for a while. He needs his outlet.
No, they said,
I was like, he's going to need this outlet right
what
now.
do you do with me time? And I was like, well, this is kind of my me time. Otherwise, I'd be home cleaning.
Yeah. Nah, this is way better. Way fun. Way
sure,
fun. Let's go ahead. Let's get
What
let's get
episode
it.
we on?
We are episode 64, I believe. Oh, there we go. Check. Hey, for our Instagram viewers, y'all can't listen to the music in the headphones. It's all good. That means that you got to head to the podcast app, open us up, get us all going. I'm cranked up. Shout out to Eazy E. Whoever mixed and mastered this, man, shout out to them. They put a lot of time and etiquette into this.
That would be the GOAT.
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Check. We in the building. You could be at your mama's house, your auntie's house, your grandmama's house. You could be outside trying to shop for sweaters. You could be getting your last minute Christmas shopping in. You could be out here breaking up with your girlfriend because you don't want to spend no money on her. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thank you.
That only applies to girlfriends?
You Wasn't Outside Podcast, episode 64. Mike Jones, heavily underrated.
I don't think so.
Heavily underrated.
All right.
For our time period, heavily underrated.
Your time period.
Yeah, I know. You like to put yourself in a whole nother stratosphere with music. Yo, the vibes in my head is crazy, but I know it's like dead silent out there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying like to talk so that it don't seem too crazy.
The energy does seem up just to kind of, for the people.
It's all in here.
Yeah.
I got a question for you because it's already formulated in my mind. Hey, Mike Jones. Nah, leave it in. I need it.
Oh, that's right.
Should take that passcode off. Man's got the heavy duty passcode in there, man. Oh man, there we go. Hand it over. Okay. Now y'all can see how we actually pass the phone over and everything, man. I'm using my phone for the. Everybody's got to do their part, man. Using my phone for the live video. Check.
That means I can't steal your electricity to charge my phone for the day.
Nah. Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing your most. Normal ass Carl. To my front, I have my man at Just Lex. What's good, man? Look, while you
AKA
figure out what's
morning
good,
kneecaps.
and morning kneecaps. There we go. Hey, we're gonna be on video for a minute, man. I'm gonna figure it out. This is my way of like trying to like get it figured out, because I'm gonna get mad that the audio doesn't sound as good like as it does in our headphones and as it does in people's phones as it does on the video. So then I will force myself to work it out. And here we already go with this problem with the phone. So go ahead and put that in. I'm gonna just take off the passcode.
How I take it off?
You got to go to unlock settings somewhere. Listen, while you do all that, let me ask you this, right? So we talking about this video aspect of the podcast, and we're listening to the music and all the different things that we have going on in the headphones, and they won't get that until we put out the audio. Have you ever been to one of those like headphone parties?
No.
Okay, so
I know what they are though.
All right, explain what a headphone party is.
It's like if you walk in, it's like dead silent, but they'll have like the DJ and whatever, and everybody takes a pair of their headphones, and I don't know, the Bluetooth is all synced up to one thing, so they all hearing the same shit.
Right.
But it would look extremely odd to be there without headphones watching people do whatever the fuck it is they doing.
Yeah. So I had an opportunity to actually participate in one of these maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. They had a beer fest out here in San Diego, downtown at the waterfront, before it looked all, marvelous and stuff like that. And so like people were out here and, they were grooving and stuff. But the thing that got me is that there was like 4 or 5 different stations that they offered you. They offered you hip hop. They offered you like rock. They offered you like, heavy metal. So I'm sitting here thinking like, can you imagine like opening up your headphone real quick and saying like, hey miss, you want to dance real quick? But she's playing country music and you got on Mike Jones in the headphone and y'all just all off rhythm together. Like right. That, like to me, like that portion of it was nuts. Like there's no way that I can, even sit and think about or think about how that would just be fun over an hour and a half, 2 hour period. I was done after 30 minutes. Wasn't going to do it for me. So what's been new with you, man? How's the week been going, bro? Is that rough already? Life's that tough.
I forgot my Apple ID.
No, did you? You got to do all that just to get rid of it?
Yeah, that's what it's telling me. What did I do this week? All right, we should be good now.
Okay.
I don't even know what I did, honestly.
You just floated through life?
Yeah, pretty much. We had I'm thinking about snitching on my office.
Oh yeah? What do you mean? What did?
Yeah, I was told that we had our our holiday party, quote unquote, and we were all gathered. And I was told from up top that like that wasn't supposed to be happening.
Oh, that y'all not supposed to be having gatherings.
Yeah.
What do you? So why you want to tell on them? Because
I didn't want to be there.
Yo, you a real what do they call the male Karen?
Kyle?
Oh shit, yeah, you're real Kyle. If you tell it on The Office, bro, that's wild.
I'm kidding. I ain't doing that. 'Cause people be telling all the stuff they be telling on. Be
oh, you be ready to tell it back. All you need is a piece of cheese, huh? Oh man, y'all can finish all your holiday shopping and whatnot.
I guess. I mean, she kind of handles that department.
So you don't look at the inventory underneath the tree and say, okay.
I look at it, but it looked done.
I know you look at the receipts. I know you have to be like, yo, we got to be close to finish now.
It looked done.
It
looked
completely different.
Yeah,
you like, oh, the bank account shows that we're done almost.
So I gave her. I think I mentioned this. I gave her her present early because she needed them. So I got her some AirPods. And then she said,
"Did she like them when you got them, or she knew they were coming already?"
No, she liked them. I gave it to him like, "Hey, you know what? Early Christmas, since you apparently need them right now, why wait 6 weeks or 8 weeks or however long ago it was?" And she was like, "Cool, but I still want something under the tree, though." And I'm like, "Of course."
Expectations.
So I went and got her something on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, she's like, I don't know. She must have looked at something on her phone and realized she was wilding. She's like, hey, don't give me nothing. It's like, goddamn, Art. No. In fairness, I was going to get this anyway.
Yeah.
For a different reason, but just because at the time I was like, I will just call it Christmas.
Go ahead, put it together. Yeah, call it Christmas. Sick. Sick. The homie sent me something like to that nature where it was like, packaging gifts for your kids. And he was going around putting bows on different items of the house. Like, hey, you put one on the toilet, a bow on the toilet. Hey, food.
Put one on the SDG&E bill.
Yeah, he put all that, man. Like, hey, well, be thankful. Christmas is nasty, man. Me, I haven't really been doing nothing, bro. I've been working a lot, which has been getting me. And I realized that like we've done a lot of the legwork by putting topic lists together in these times where I may not have a million things to talk about. And then, life itself has some things. Hey, don't forget, we have a holiday drive that we're currently doing. For those queuing in, you can check our Instagram for the drop-off locations, I believe. We got about another week and a half left before we actually close up shop. I think what we're going to end up doing is hitting the streets and going ahead and passing items out downtown to the homeless there. I talked to my cousin a little bit. We had a little time to speak, and I think that's probably going to be the best route that we're going to take. So yes, we do have a holiday drive still. So bring the appropriate shoes, nothing that's like too beat up, dirty or anything like that. Clothing items. Don't bring any used underwear. We don't need any used drawers or nothing like that. But anyway, let's go ahead, man. Let's just get straight into it, bro. Let's go ahead. Here we go. This week in hip hop. Did you get a chance to watch the Drake and Ye concert on?
I did.
On Prime. I know you did. I have to bring it up to you like a Charlemagne type thing. What were your thoughts on that? You were a little fired up in the group chat in regards to it. What are your thoughts?
It might have been leftover energy from the game.
Y'all lost the game though.
I mean, why are you bringing up old shit?
I know, but I didn't see you being that hype after losing said game. But it's all good. It makes sense. If
you didn't see me in person,
you're letting the frustrations out. Oh, you're saying you were yelling and screaming.
No, but you know what? We also got to calm down because now initially this concert was slated to start at like 7.
No, 8.
No, when it first was announced, it said 7, right?
Ooh.
Day of, it was 8. And then like somewhere like 7:59, they said, "Nah, we're gonna run with 9." And I'm like, "Damn, this is gonna be like a real thing."
Right.
Like, luckily we ain't on the East Coast.
You didn't expect that from Ye?
No, I expected it.
He's like Erykah Badu to me.
Nah, but I thought like Drake was gonna open. Nah, it made sense the way they did it because I was like, okay, Drake's not gonna be like, I ain't going out first because that means I'm an opener. The ego comes in, so it's like you go out first. I'll chime in the middle. You call me a special guest in all caps, and we'll be good from there. But yeah, the way it was cool. What was we talking about? We was trying to tally up because this is all money to raise awareness and
we'll talk about that.
So I was like,
we got a difference of opinion.
They probably lost about $200K on all that empty part of the Coliseum, but the choir, the choir was fire.
Do you think there was a point where I was watching it where I thought they were out there a little too long?
A little too long?
Yeah. I thought, I was like, this is great. You know what I mean? But I just like, oh, they out here extra long.
Was it because...
It was like Christmas carolers.
Was it sleepy? Oh, you mean the choir?
Yeah,
I thought
choir.
you meant the whole concert in general.
No, I meant the choir.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a time where I was like, yo, they outdoing themselves.
They rolled up, because it took them a while to get there. They rolled up like the fake Slim Shadys at the VMA Awards. And then, but nah, it was cool. Like, I was like, it sound great.
Yeah.
And I guess you want to talk about a certain point, so I don't know what you want me to get to.
Well, what I'll say is that I appreciated it, right? It seemed rushed, and it was rushed, you know what I mean? But what I appreciated the most out of it, because I've never been to a Kanye concert.
That he was performing songs he said he was going to do no more?
Yeah, he performed
and he was cussing.
Yes, but he was cussing in that interview with Nori, you know what I mean? Once they got...
I just now got to it.
Yeah, when
I'm
he
like
was
10 minutes in. That's how long it takes
That's
me to
all
get
you got
there.
is 10 minutes? You only
Nah, because it takes me a long time to get through those episodes because
Yeah.
I don't prioritize
It's
that
a long
show.
ass one, so you got a long way to
know.
go if you're only 10 minutes in right now.
I saw the Ray and
They
Ghost
got him
one.
to smoke weed. They got him to take a few shots. I don't think I've ever seen Kanye drink. So, you know, he was looking like a human being. And then,
You've never seen Kanye drink?
No.
Okay.
Where'd you see him drink at?
Taylor Swift?
You saw him drink? Or you
Yeah,
think
he had like a
some-
bottle of Hennessy on his chair,
Yeah, I was
dog.
about to say. I wasn't 100% sure. But that, I appreciated that. I love older Kanye's catalog.
Well, yeah.
And maybe that's just me. That's the stand in me.
I don't think it's just you.
You
but-
know, well, and it's not, and it's going to lead me to another topic later on. But I mean, you know, I love older Kanye. So when you start getting into your late registration bag, you start getting into your college dropout bag, like that part of Ye, I really appreciate it, and I noticed that the crowd appreciated them too. So much that Drake appreciated him, right? He was up there on the stage mouthing the words with him to, you know, some of his, you know, greatest hits. And I thought it was a good time for hip hop for these two guys to get together and raise awareness. Now, there was some controversy amongst us, right? Because you put in some DJ Vlad interview shit inside the
That wasn't me.
or you condoned it inside of the
condoned
group
it?
chat, yeah. So it was a benefit concert, and you know, people are like, well, where are the money going? It's a money grab. Well, first of all, bro did put a lot of money into the production and the stage. You know what I mean? Like the stage was crazy.
He puts a lot of money into his show.
And I'm sure that whatever money he put into it, he's allowed to recoup said cash.
Right.
Right. So if when you guys say it's a money grab, I mean, we don't know where the proceeds are actually going to. And then I learned a little bit of history yesterday in regards to what's going on to what's my man's name that they were doing the concert for?
Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover, my bad. Chicago's very own. There we go. I gotta save myself. But
I don't think that saved it just because you know what city he was from.
but I know where he's at least. So Larry Hoover, for those of you guys that don't know, he was a drug dealer of sorts that made a lot of allegedly. Nah, he's been convicted of that. He's doing fair time right now. 23 to 1, 23 and 1.
I'm cover all bases though.
Larry Hoover is a alleged drug dealer. Then we're gonna go with Alex's version. That's been in jail now for quite some time. And so, you know, the initiative here for the benefit concert is to raise proceeds and awareness to, you know, help Larry Hoover out. Now, from what my understanding is from, you know, a legal perspective is that if they freed him on said drug charges, you know, for trafficking cocaine and whatnot, he still has a state charge in regards to murder. And he would have to, they would then have to probably reopen the case, you know, try him and stuff like that and figure it out. So it's not so much as like, hey, we free Larry Hoover and he's he's scot free. He has several charges. And so I'm with it. I also believe that in America, and I heard this take yesterday. I was watching this show on Hulu called Dope Sick. And it was talking about Dope Sick is about like a pharmaceutical company that, you know, pretty much has been making money off of OxyContin. It's Purdue Pharma. It's actually based on a true story. So Purdue Pharma, pretty much they make up OxyContin. They want to corner the market in pain therapy for people. And so they come out with OxyContin. And what they say is, oh, our drug is 100% safe. It has no addictive qualities to it. The FDA comes in and, you know, they pull some strings and stuff like that and says that, you know, it's not a class 2, you know, drug or whatever the case may be, and it's safe. Lo and behold, a year and a half later, OxyContin users, you know, start turning into heroin users, right? Because they're not able to get prescriptions, or they're getting addicted to the medication and they can't afford it. And so, with that being said, in my mind, that is a form of drug trafficking, right? And how I'm tying this all together, right, is that's the legal means of how to do it. Now, those guys have gotten in trouble for what they did to the drug industry and causing a epidemic of sorts. But at the same token, you have Larry Hoover, who was selling crack to people who willingly bought it. The same thing like OxyContin, right? Who has to now serve life in prison for selling drugs and being lucrative. To me, there's no difference between Larry Hoover and Big Pharma.
One of my favorite Styles P verses, he says, I'm African American. In the hood, we moved the drugs, but the man, he moved the medicine.
And he's right.
And you know, Yeah, exactly. We going on a lot of tangents right now because
No,
we're talking
'cause
about
we're
that. I mean, I
still-
know I see where we're getting to,
yeah.
but yeah, I was about to start that show soon.
And it's solid. And so I think that what Ye is doing, it also brings on these topics. That's why it's important. What Drake and Ye have been able to do to bring awareness to these things. It brings up these topics, and it has to like jog people's memory as to the importance of doing said things. So like I get it from that perspective. I think that there's not. When you have something like that, this is over our heads, right? Like when you have a benefit concert, obviously his people was there. I believe the family was there and whatnot. They were there on the field. They were giving out hugs. There was other people from the industry. I think that Ye, did a really good job of bringing awareness to stuff like this. It brings awareness for us to have these talks. Because Larry Hoover's been locked up for a long time.
Okay, let me clarify what me and anybody who might have agreed with what we were talking about when we talk about the money grab with it. So when you're talking about recouping it, so when they say the benefit of the show and all proceeds go to said whatever, most of the time what they mean is the net, meaning we're going to recoup what we spent on the show. We're just not going to make any additional money from it.
Yeah.
That's usually how that goes. Now sometimes we'll put on the show, bid production, and we'll give you every single penny. But for the most part, they're going to make sure all the stage crew and everybody involved gets their paycheck, and we recoup for all our materials and costs, and then we'll give you the money. And they probably did that with the show. But what they were saying was all that merch wasn't going to the benefits. Now, for anyone who saw the price of said merch, where like the cheapest thing was like $100 t-shirt, you would think, okay, if the price is marked up that much, but it's for a better cause, and that's the shit they was wearing in the show. Like, I don't understand that type of fashion. It looked kind of trash to me, but whatever.
We wearing it right now. I'm just saying.
Touche.
We wearing it right now.
Not like, okay, now the show is for them.
Yeah.
But, my time is still my time. I am the fashion dude, so I'm at least my merch. Most artists get rich on their merch and they show anyway. But, yeah, I thought, it was cool that he came out and did the classics. Drake did his thing or whatever. I think a lot of people were kind of taking a versus angle to it.
Yeah, which is not fair.
It wasn't, but in the moment I was like, I wasn't comparing their sets because I was like, okay, this isn't like
Drake did a lot of new shit and some B-sides, you know what I mean?
But what I was comparing to
now I'll tell you what, God's Plan got nothing on Jesus Walks. If we had to compare like those two,
what I was
would
saying,
have to do one for one
what I was
against?
saying was like Kanye would perform a song and I would just think like Drake don't have a song bigger than this. I wasn't comparing their sets. I was just like, he don't have a song bigger than this. He don't have a song bigger than this. He can't fuck with
Ring them off on the list. Which ones? Be specific. Live on it. I'll help you out. Stronger is one of them.
Drake might be able to get strong. He can't. And in a performance realm too, Kanye has a lot of that stadium music that just hit different when you're performing.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so
that's
yeah,
the
stronger
part.
Performance, cool, but definitely can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Negroes in Paris. You don't say the word. Yeah, don't say it. We live. They cancel you live now, bro. Negroes in Paris.
I gotta think of the set list, but he was going.
Jesus Walks is another one, in my opinion. Like, if you were around the time period when Jesus Walks came out, they weren't playing nothing like that on like mainstream radio. I don't remember a time where I've heard a gospel record or a gospel type record ever played on the mainstream radio. But if you was queuing in San Diego, 90.3, 933, or whatever, like Jesus Walks got played on the radio, and I'm sure he went through hell to like get it on there. But it was a big song, man, and the video was hard.
Yeah, I think you're just taking about what he was talking about in the verse. No, I think you're taking about what he was talking about in the song and applying it to, like, oh yeah, there's nothing on the radio. I don't think you were noticing it like that back in 04.
I was.
All right, man.
Bro, I was 14 at the time, 13. At that point, I was able to make a correlation like, yo, they don't play nothing like this on the radio, but it's tough. Like, Jesus Walks. God show it. Yeah, like that was tough. And I was more lively in church back then. And I was like, oh, this is tough.
You was wearing them too, huh?
Yeah. With socks. Yo, you don't care. 40 and below, you still come out here with those socks, bro.
Well, one, I didn't know it was 40 when I got outside. It's just like, man, all right, I walked too far.
I'm here now.
I'm just in the car. And
Oh, man. But so, switching gears from this, Drake and, Ye situation or a benefit concert, what I noticed is that the crowd and myself recognize words word for word. Like I can get through 3 verses of a old school Ye track. So what songs do you know off the top of your head, word for word, like if they rang on that you just gonna get in your bag, start grabbing your belt and giving me rapper hands? Like which ones is gonna give you that?
Which ones?
Yeah.
I think it's a time period, right? Because I was thinking about this yesterday when I was, I'm in the middle, I'm like halfway through my end of the year list. And I'm like, man, like, I don't know if it's because there's just so much content that we consume on a daily basis. It's probably a little bit of a bunch of things, and just my age and where I'm at, I don't care to know the lyrics like that no more.
Yeah.
And so I think up to a certain time frame, those lyrics are just in your head. Sometimes you forget a little bit, but for the most part, it's like it's there. But there's like a window of time, maybe like 12 to like 18, 12 to 20, where it's like it's nothing. And so, but no, I mean, I guess I know full albums word for word.
Yeah.
In certain cases.
You get me through 50 Cent's
Get
debut
Rich or Die
album,
Trying.
Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm out there.
2001, Dogg, like, most of those, like almost every song, every track, like just run through them. Like I'm trying to think of something newer. I guess it wouldn't be harder to some of the newer stuff because there's not a lot of lyrics to learn anyway.
Right.
But
I also think of repetition. Like we talked about streaming multiple times on here, but I don't repetitiously go through music.
you don't sit with it as long.
Yeah.
To learn it.
And it's not because I don't, it's like there's so much other content now that I can consume on my phone while I'm away from home.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like not to sound corny, but like if I run out of rap battles and I typically save all my music run throughs to listen to this time of the year about shit that I wasn't super, like I listened to Slim Thug yesterday. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna listen to that during the year.
Did he drop this year?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It's called SDS. I think
you're
it's
right, he
Sugar
did.
Daddy
He was
Slim
on-
or something like that. And
That's not gonna be on my list.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, look, when I opened it, it was only 9 tracks. I was like, all right, I can make it. Like I can do it.
I was looking at it, I'm like, yo, I got 82, and there's probably like 10 that, I probably should have listened to. And I'm just not doing it.
I've been playing golf with this dude, and he keep putting me on guys. Right? He's solid, and he's putting me on some new dudes. And I'm like, oh, I wish I would have found this. Like they actually, I gave Lex some shit about something that I never went back and listened to. That was your number 1 album.
Yeah,
that could have been legit.
It was.
And we're fading topics right now because that's important too. But I think that in regards to like music and knowing it word for word, like I said, like when I'm watching that Ye benefit concert, I'm just going through the lyrics, like it just picks up. So if I ever have like Alzheimer's or anything like that, if I make it to a rightful old age, just start playing old Ye, and I might just snap back into it.
There's something to that. They have that musical therapy for people that are going through dementia.
No, I know. I'm saying
But those songs he was that his set list is during that time, that window of time for you that I'm talking about, because you were at those ages where you were like, okay, this is what I'm listening to. Especially because that Kanye was out before you came and stole my hard drive, so you probably only had 200 songs in your life.
No, I was backpack. I would listen to Murs, Ye, Most Def, and I tell this to my friends all the time, like, yo, y'all was such the biggest Lil Wayne stands or whatever, bro, that I was in a whole nother, circle of hip hop. Elzai, not too many people know who Elzai is. You do, because, and you would probably wonder, like, why does he venture off against Nick Grant if all these guys are like within his reach? Like, so.
And Nick Grant gonna get a few extra followers just fucking with us, hearing you talk about it.
He might. I have no idea. I'm not gonna stop him on that.
Motherfucker they keep talking about.
What were we talking about prior to that? And I said we were getting off topic.
What songs do you know in your head?
No, we talked about that portion of it. There was another piece that you had brought up, and I was like, we getting off topic. It was literally like 3 minutes. My list? Yeah, about music that you were trying to get to or whatever. Like, yeah. 80 of them is kind of crazy. I'm probably going to give a good run through about 50.
82, 50 is crazy for you. 82 is not, this ain't the first time I've done 82. It was a sneaky 82 because they seemed kind of quiet for the first few months of the year.
What I'm noticing, though, is that there's a lot of mid coming out like in this year, man.
I said that. I said, like, man, because this is the part I was thinking about. I'm like, am I starting to become over this? Or is it just the type of, because I'm thinking like, man, like I'm struggling, because there'll be a lot of times I'll start these lists and I kind of have an idea who the top 5 is going to be already. Right. I just have to do it, put in the work, right? And it is kind of a lot of work. And I'm going through in like the middle, I'm looking at the middle and I'm like, you know what? You could switch a lot of this around and I would never know. Like from number whatever to whatever, like just a whole, like a 30 of them in the middle, you can switch them 30 spots and be like, more or less, that's probably right.
But every song damn near sounds the same too.
And
you got Rod Wave on your list of stuff to listen to?
No. There's a lot. That's what I'm saying.
I respect that for the culture, like with the new kids put out to put it on there.
No, see the new kids. See, I listened to the little baby thing. There's a couple I had, like the Migos shit is on there. I'm like, oof.
Hey, there's something that I dread. They're like, yo, I would probably have to hold that on the back end.
But that was me putting in the work, right? But I'm still like right now, I'm kind of struggling with number 1, which I guess is a good problem. But yeah, there's a few.
Like I listen to Rod Wave. He's not going to crack my top 20, so let me go ahead and talk about him a little bit. What I think about Rod Wave is he actually makes some really solid songs, right? It's just that I started counting the BPMs around like the 6th song, and I was like, yo, this is the same speed that you've had from 1 to 7 right now. You're not offering me anything different, no other creativity. It's the same, a few like melodies or whatever on a melodic hook, and then you get into a little verse, and that's the end of it. So for me, yeah, it's going to be a tough year on trying to like really divvy out a 420. Yeah, the top 10 I feel like is cemented, at some point. There's some other stuff that I heard that I feel like is going to be, on there. But like to stretch it to 11, 12, 13, 14, the fact that you do 60, I feel like I can throw out, I feel like going from 20 to 60 is super easy. I just start throwing shit out on the list at that
That's
point.
What I meant. Like after 20... it's like, oh, it kind of don't matter, or there's not going to be too much fight over it. Because people are just like, either I didn't hear it, whatever, and, fuck it. I think I just really got the perspective like, yo, I can understand why these motherfuckers just really don't care about my shit. And I be doing...
I don't need you hitting that stage in life right now, man. When you talk about, hey, they don't really care at all. Like, that's like, nasty. I don't need you to get there, man.
Should this be my last one? They don't care about it anyway.
I ain't gonna do you like that, man. Random shit to fill in time. All right. Y'all couldn't hear it, but we got the cues going in.
I don't think they care about your hand claps, honestly.
Nah, I do. It helps, it helps me timestamp.
We know.
Yo, so I was thinking about, this happened a while back, so I had to wait. There's certain topics that I would love to talk about as they happen, but I got to make sure that my girl's in a good mood so that it doesn't carry over. So it's been about a month and a half since this has happened. Let me point it to you as a question. You have a son that's in school.
That I do.
What is the motto for him if he gets bullied in school?
What is the motto?
Yeah, what is the motto of the Alex S household? Like we haven't said your last name prior to before, but being on live, I wanted to be.
You not gonna let nobody bully you? Like
how is it? So let's say like your son, comes home and he says, "Yo, little Tommy at the school slapped me during recess or whatever, and it hurt, and I told the teacher." And then what do you say at that point?
Well, I think we might have talked about this. This actually really happened. So
I don't think we have.
Yeah, first there's this like big dude, right? Like he like your size, but he in kindergarten.
A kid?
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
I promise you, like this motherfucker, like, oh man, who Ben put this shit in? When y'all was trying to clown Zeke about that little Pop Warner player who's like 6 foot, 300 pounds.
He was big though.
One of these dudes, right?
Yeah, he was about 10 though.
And he was bullying like the whole class.
Yeah.
And then so G come home and he's like, yeah, like he punched me in the stomach. So I'm like, word? Like, and what you do. And then he's like, I told the teacher. I was like, okay. And then, you know, at this time, the school was like a little disorganized. They're not used to being back in person. Their ratios was off. There wasn't enough aides to watch enough kids. And so this kid's going around just causing havoc on a bunch of kids. And so G's like, yeah, he punched me in the stomach. And I told the teacher. And I was like, so what happened? He kept hitting me. And I was like, okay. And I guess the teacher, I don't know if the story was, but the teacher just didn't get to it, or maybe he made that part up, but it would. So my philosophy is, all right, if he hits you, tell him to stop. If he don't stop and the teacher ain't doing nothing, you better hit him back. And he was like super real. And he was like, Dad, he was big. I was like, yo, I feel you. When I saw the kid, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't even want to fight him. Like, even the point where it's like, all right, I got to step to his pops or something. I was like,
that's where you got to go.
If the kid is that big, I might not want to step to pops either.
I probably would. Well, you won't, but I probably would.
No, I didn't get to. So I get, you know, the kid was getting dragged on a Facebook group. Like, he might have had a Reddit.
See, that's how I know you live in like.
Yeah, man. They was like, no, what are we going to do about this terrorist?
We never talked about this. You decided to bring it up now?
Nah, yeah,
that's rich in content.
No, yeah,
no pun. No pun.
I told you I got a lot of shit in my phone. But nah, his best friend, his homegirl, ride or die, she always got back fades.
Yeah. Oh, so she ready.
She'll be the one, like, you know, if G getting stomped out, she jumping in and jumping on the back, try to strangle him. UFC style.
That's the Southeast story right there.
It is. Like, but she, like, all the incidents that she stays riding for him, to the point where it's like, you better make sure you return, because I feel like when she was getting on and like, G, what'd you do? I ran away and told the teacher. I'm like, and like, you better go help that little girl that stayed, you know, putting her body on the line for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the philosophy is you ain't gonna let nobody punk you.
I feel
now
you.
I get it, G. Like, you know, he's bigger. There's an intimidation factor. I'm not mad at you for like not hitting him back. Try to tell him to stop. Go to the teacher first, but at a certain point, you can't just let somebody just sit there and hit on you like that.
I'm not trying to play you, right? And I'm going to give context to this too. So that was how it was in my household, right? You know, my mom's was, you know, say, yo, somebody hit you, hit them back or whatever. And as a kid, I was ready to whoop ass every time. But, you know, I wasn't really pressed too many times. If anything, if I was being pressed, I was being pressed by, you know, older kids or whatever. And, you know, then I would have to defend myself. And then it was like, yo, we got to squabble. Like I said, with one kid's ass when I was young, you know, and then he turned around, whipped my ass, you know, 2 weeks later, you know, but that was a different time period. Right. And the reason why I'm opposed to this idea now. So, you know, my son, he came home and, you know, my fiance was like, you know, hey, you know, if you get into you know, if a kid hits you or something like that, you need to hit him back. And I said, as much as I want to agree with that, like there's videos that's online and then we hear later on what happens and stuff like that, or the community rallies together like you just said and they try to put an end to stuff. Like now you can't catch a one-on-one fade with a kid or whatever and think that like nothing's going to come about it. You know, like there's no consequences after. And if I'm looking at how my son is in stature in comparison to the other kids, he's, you know, quite large. He's about the same size as them, but he's in school early right now. You know, so, you know, by the time he starts, you know, on the right program and everything, I imagine he's going to be bigger than most of the kids there. So if he's whooping on these kids behinds or whatever, and he goes too far, that's a lot to put on a kid to say, hey, defend yourself. Yeah, like we say, all right.
Nah.
I know you're not with me.
Nah, the whole thing is, it's not that because you make it seem like he playing offense.
It could turn into that.
No. See, what I'm saying is defend yourself, because like that kid, big as shit, right? He run around try to punk anybody and everybody. This my school, my turf, whatever, and everybody lets it happen. But you know what? If he's punking on you and you hit him back, now he's like, I ain't gonna mess with him no more, because I don't want the even if I could beat him down, I only want the easy prey. I don't want to deal with someone hitting me back because he's smaller than me, I don't want to get hit. So I know he ain't gonna take no shit. Or for anybody else that may look to punk you, we saw you defend yourself. Even if you like lost the battle, you still defended yourself. I'm not fucking with him. Because a lot of times people are getting bullied or hit on, they don't defend themselves, and so they just become easy prey for anybody and everybody else to do the same. So it's more so, don't hit them back just to hit them back. Once you're doing it to send a message, I'm not going to take no shit. Yeah, you might beat me down, but this might be the last time you hit me, because you might not like getting hit either. And so, yeah, go punk somebody else. That's all I'm saying.
Fresh Prince. You remember when Will was talking to Ashley and she had a bully?
Yeah.
And the way that he was, coaching her through how to, deal with the situation. Now, that bully was a big girl, too. And, like, what he said was, act crazy.
Right.
What you gonna do about it? To me, that's defending yourself without having to put your hands on, another person.
Yeah, but so Jonathan used to say if he used to go to jail, if he was gonna ever go to jail, he would just shit on himself and say, if you want this, you're gonna have to go through some shit, right?
That was the thing.
And I don't know if I want to do that to myself.
I feel like that's look.
He's out to shit on myself and never wash my ass.
I feel like that's a great defense, though.
I
wouldn't judge you if you
you want this ass, you gonna earn it.
If you
you gonna earn it.
You have to go through some stuff.
Yeah, you have to go through some shit.
But if I came to you, or if you came to me, let's use you because you brought it up to the now, and you say, "Hey, Carl, look, man, dude tried to get me in jail or whatever. I had to shit myself." I'm like, "Yo, bro, you had to do what you got to do, man. I'm not gonna hold that against you. What are we, elementary?"
He said it with pride. Like he wasn't gonna feel no shame about it.
I really want to know if he still feels that way. Like if that's something that's like even.
No, I get what you like. Act crazy. Sure, I guess there's other ways you can go about it, but you know what? These kids are, because you're saying, okay, we can fight somebody, and you can go too far, but at the end of the day, like I can't be mad at okay, I was defending myself, I snapped and I went too far, and I just kept hitting him, and now he's really hurt. Maybe I just ain't got that type of sympathy.
I just watched a video where a young man was at a basketball game. I think we shared it. It's probably a while back, maybe about a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And during, I think, was it high five or after halftime or something like that?
Run up or shut up.
He ran up and mink and just took off on the kid. Dude, those parents went after that kid after that happened.
Nah, man, he can't. He asked for the hands, he got them.
Yeah, that's right. But to what point, to what degree are you?
That was different though. That was all talk. There was no physical things during the game. That was just talking shit or whatever. But I'm saying, if someone is,
it's different because it's talk, but it's not different in the fact that we're putting a lot somewhere along the line. Somebody told this kid or told him he needed to defend himself in certain situations, and that's a lot of responsibility to put on that kid.
Yeah, but
to be able to decipher when to put your hands out and when not to.
Because I'm specific. If someone hits you and keeps beating up, if someone's talking shit to you or saying this and that, then no, that's more like you can control yourself. But if someone is physically trying to harm you, you're not going to sit back and let that shit happen. And if someone is physically trying to harm you and you defend yourself and you hurt them, I'm not going to feel bad for that other kid. If anything, that's going to further solidify the message. You ain't going to be punking me. Go punk someone else. I don't take no shit. Because you over here trying to shoot bail for a bully playing offense. And I ain't about to be doing that.
Martin Luther King?
Nah, that's probably more Malcolm X.
No, I'm saying, but Martin Luther King's response was, take the high road. And so, but there's two types of people.
High road, take the high road. Okay, if you getting, racial slurred and treated poorly and this and that, but nah.
That's the basis of bullying right there within itself.
Exactly. And no, I'm saying you ain't got to beat nobody down for it. You can turn the other cheek in that sense.
Yeah.
But when they bring the hose out on you, come on now. He did all that so you can defend yourself violently if you need to.
Look, I'm with it. I'm just saying that it's a lot. Now, please believe, as an adult, if I had to defend myself, I know when to stop. But I can tell you that there was a time period when I was coming up where like if I really wanted to hurt somebody, I would, get into that mode and try to hurt them and not think of what the repercussions are. And some people are willing to take that risk. You know what I mean? And I guess that through circumstances, my life has changed and I have to model that. And maybe I've gotten soft over the years or whatever. And that's just the case.
No, once you hit 30, I don't even say 30 because it was probably before it. But once you hit 30, like I ain't trying to fight nobody.
Some people at 30 still don't get it though. I will say that too.
Are they under 5'5"?
They could be over 5'5". They could be out here still leading a life of crime.
If you over 5'8" and you still ready to fight,
circles, we have like if you scholared circles. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people handle themselves in like a different vein in that regard. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I think everybody's over 5'8" too, though. If you're under 5'8", I won't judge you.
My man went straight with the Napoleon complex.
Nah, because you stay ready.
Oh man, I ain't mad at it. Hey, let me ask you this, random. Do you think receipts should still matter in the digital age? Like if you can provide digital proof of something, right? Do you think a paper receipt still matters?
I mean, who you talking to, man?
I'm talking to you,
Earthman.
Earthman. So let's hear it.
Yeah, I set up my picket sign outside of CVS. You ever seen a CVS receipt?
No.
That shit as long as this curtain.
Costco too?
All you did, no. Costco, because you buy 100 items at Costco. Right. CVS, you go in there for a stick of gum, it shoots out fucking 3 feet worth of paper.
Which I don't know why it's so hard for them to get the system to where you can like email it to me like everyone else does, like Foot Locker, No,
I think there's a lot of systems that say email receipt, no receipt, and I usually hit no receipt, but sometimes you need the receipt. But yeah, if you could just digitally send me that. But yeah, CVS, man, get the fuck out of here.
I'm not gonna say the name of this place. I'm just gonna say where it is, so you know where I'm talking about, because we were able to resolve the issue. I think that they've been legit. I've been.
You got a lot of issues as a patron of,
bro. Because you know what though, like I said, like I don't take no bullying, but it's not like me putting my hands on people. I can fight back in other ways. So I go.
You just being Cayenne Carl again.
Nah, I wasn't even spicy that time, but I was able to show him like, yo, like. So basically, I go up to the oil change place on top of the hill.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's not
the biggest of businesses. You know what I mean? It's like a small mom and pop's feel.
Archie and them
get in and out. And so they tell me like, so basically my other car couldn't pass small.
I could have told you that.
No, I know. But here's the thing. I knew what was wrong with it. I just wouldn't pay the $400 at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I'm going to disconnect it from the battery. Let it, and here's a stupid me didn't know this, right? So stupid me like disconnects it from the battery, takes it off. Yeah, it's like by the time they rev it up to like 5 miles or whatever, light won't come on. It's like, there was an error code with like some of the components that we checked, pretty much saying that like either the battery was disconnected or maybe your car was sitting off or whatever. I said, this old ass car can tell you that? like that's what this telling you right now? I said, that's crazy. So I take it back. I go get it fixed, right? And then I bring it, and they said I had 30 days to resmog it. So I bring it back on like the 29th day. That's just how it all came together. So then the girl tells me, she says, you have the receipt? I said, nah, but y'all ain't got that in the computer like when I come in here? She said, yeah, but it only stores for a few days. You need the receipt.
Really?
Right. And I said, well, it is an old ass computer.
That can't be true though, because usually with your phone number, your shit pop right up in the system.
Bro.
No, I know the computer you're talking about. I've been there before.
It's a blue screen computer, bro. Like I when I looked at it, I was like, look, that thing, it's a wonder that it still keeps my addresses in there. And the cars that I bring in.
But that's my point. It kept that information. It should tell you when I was here last and maybe some notes of what happened.
See how you Cayenne right now? That's exactly how I was with her. And so
that wasn't even Cayenne.
But here's the thing. Without even having the receipt, right? I figured it was common knowledge. If I go into my bank account and I show you that I was here 30 days ago and I paid initially for the smog,
yeah,
and you know how much you would charge for that the likelihood of me lying to you is very slim now because I've gone to great lengths to show you my bank account.
And they're not a franchise, so it's not like you went to a different location. Like they're a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, and they were pressing me about it. And I'm like, bro, like I've already spent the money here. I'm just trying to get the courtesy that y'all have
free
here.
Retest.
And so they're like, yeah, without the receipt or if you could save it. And my man's that was there, small dude with the hair slicked back. I don't know if you remember him. He's been there for years.
Archie.
Is that him really?
I think that's Archie.
I think that is his name. So Archie, since we never said the name of the business, we could say his name. Archie, he's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. We just, look at the receipt. They end up doing it. And I said, look, bro, I've been coming here for years.
Yeah, I'm about to say they don't have like a whole bunch of shifts. Like they do like a 9 to 5 operation to pretty much you see the same people every day. You see the same people every day. So if you a regular, they should know who you are.
Yeah, especially because I bring 3 different cars to you, bro. So it's like I'm here.
Right over the fence.
Yeah, I'm here all the time, man. So why are you? He's like, yeah, man, I know. And I was like, dude. And they had me thinking. I'm like, yo, what's the purpose of like having digital stuff to be able to show more proof, and you worried about a paper receipt? You know how hard it is for me to lose a paper receipt? I can only imagine what you're going through right now, given the type of business that your wife has open right now on trying to save paper receipts and get rid of them during tax time. But I just felt like, yo, like even I could scan barcodes on my phone, zoom it in, and people can scan it straight from there. Like, yo, we have hit the age where I should no longer have like a paper receipt anymore. Just my take.
I think we getting there. I mean, there's certain things that'd be a good mandate to have too. Look, I'm looking for any type of save a tree, plant a tree type of shit.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. Plus, there's a lot of BPA on that receipt plastic and everything. It's just terrible, man. It's terrible, man.
The BPA on the receipt plastic
is nuts. We got to get out of here.
That's nuts to me. The fact that you said that there's a BPA on there. All right, man. Let's see.
I started that Colin show.
Which one?
Colin Kaepernick one.
Yeah.
And it was throwing me off from minute 1.
Yeah, because it's shot like a Lifetime movie.
No. No, the show has entertain. Like it's overall, it's like kind of entertaining, right?
Yeah.
But the first one where it's talking about his hair, what's making me hate the show is him narrating it. Because it's like this monotone, whatever.
So you say Colin's not the guy for his own show?
No. I get what they were trying.
But is it worth you saying like I'm not gonna finish this?
No, I'm finishing it. What I'm saying is that's not the part that threw me off in the beginning. They were obviously doing a whole lot to tell you what time frame this was. 2001, 2002.
And for those of y'all that don't know, we're talking about the Colin Kaepernick show that's on Netflix.
So episode 1, they're talking about cornrows, right? And so at the time frame when he's talking about, AI is the man.
Allen Iverson is the man.
They're going real 2000, 2001 shit, right?
Yeah.
But the first 2 songs they play in the during
Remind me, it's been a minute since I've seen
the thing is, because I meant to say it last week, but we had the guest, and so I can't remember. But they were definitely from 2005. And knowing me, that really irked me for the rest of the show.
That
they started playing music from 01, 02. And if you play something from 99, 98, whatever, because it's already out. But when you play something that hasn't been created yet, it was like when in the Straight Outta Compton movie when they were wearing the White Sox hats that hadn't come out yet. It was like, that one didn't bother me as much because I wasn't there in the 80s. But I was there in 01, and I'm like, this is definitely 05.
Right.
And, that's like our window to really be like, okay, because Colin's like a year older than me.
Yeah.
So it's like, no. So, they fixed it later, and then, man, they were just playing his mom every chance they get.
His white mom.
Yeah. When it came to the hair episode, like obviously, yeah, I get it. She was a deer in the headlights. She was from bumfuck California.
Shit, they play them even. What episode are you on?
The driving episode.
So when he passes the police officer a few times, you've seen him get pulled over already.
That we cut it off right when he got pulled over. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to be in.
No. She fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
No, we got about 10.
That's a hell of a place to cut that because even then, and these are his experiences.
No, I get it.
I don't think that they were maliciously, oblivious to certain things. I think that they thought it was okay. Like, hey, this is our son and we love him. He's been with us for years. Like they turned a blind eye, or not that they turned a blind eye. They were just, ignorant to the fact that, your son sticks out like a sore thumb.
No. That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I said Alex versus, Colin Kaepernick's parents, because it's like, you already know that with having younger black children already, that they're going to have some hardships, and you can spot it out a mile away, and you can have a conversation with your wife about it, who also spots it out. And I think that is That is a great advantage that your kids have to be able to combat something such as that nature. You know?
I don't want to rehash and spend a lot of time on something we already talked about. I was just thinking like, okay, I believe all the experiences. I just think they put a little extra sauce on a couple of them. But yeah, go ahead. Whatever you was about to talk about next.
No,
It just really irked me when they get a detail like that wrong.
Because
they showed me
eat your soul.
2001, 2002, and then you're playing fucking.
Read them and weep. I used to collect vintage dresses, many of which I bought online from retailers for several $100s each. I reluctantly sold some of the consignment after a breakup, out with the old in with the new. So she was no longer using these items. But I kept ones that were beautiful works of vintage art. A friend of mine likes to sew, and I offered her one of the dresses I'd been hanging on to wear or craft with. I wanted her to turn it into something meaningful for herself instead of keeping it buried in my closet. Last weekend we had lunch. When I asked her how it fit or what she planned to do with it, she told me she had given it to someone, I don't know, to sell on a clothing resale site. I can't help but feel angry. I know I gifted it to my friend, but I think what she did was rude. If she had asked me if it was okay to give it away, I would have asked for it back. How do I stop harboring this feeling? Every time I think of her now, I get upset. The next day after our lunch, we went to an estate sale, and she brought up the other person again. I should have invited this person so she can find the merch to resell. I think that my friend is oblivious to how she makes me feel about this situation. What should I do? Now, that's some legitimate, harboring some things. And I'm going to bring up a scenario that kind of rings with this to kind of give my take.
Okay.
You had an old ass phone for a long ass time. Mm-hmm. That didn't work. It overheated all the time. You were a green bubble guy in the chat, and you were like stopping me from removing you or myself. When the conversation got heated, like that move that Ben pulled, we would have never been able to pull that had you not switched over, right? Which is okay. I recognize that the phone that I gave you was not brand new. As a matter of fact, I told you, but I also understand that phone holds monetary value.
It was newer than what I had.
Right. It was newer than what you had, but I understand that it holds monetary value to incentivize you. If you wanted to get a new phone or something that was better, you can. And guess what? You did. And not one person made a peep about you upgrading and getting a new phone and using the other phone that we fixed for value. I didn't hold on to said phone for me to say, oh, Lex needs to keep this specific phone right here.
Right.
Yo, if you can find value, or if anyone else can find value out of it, that was the whole purpose of us doing all that. And so for this lady that's having this conversation in regards to this lady that's having
no sound on your video.
For real? Oh man, that's crazy. We'll fix it then. That's probably why Durant called me twice then. But we'll fix it. So anyway,
tune in to hear the words.
No, because I just added in there and put it up, for good anyway. So it's all good. So anyway, with that being said, I didn't look into it in that fashion, right? I looked at it more so as an avenue to, look out for a friend and you be able to use it as whatever it may be. I don't think that you should give something to somebody or whatever. And if you gift it to somebody that you're just saying like, oh, well, you have to do this with it or you have to do that, then don't give it to me if it's going to have conditions on it. Because then it's not really a gift.
Don't give it to me if it has any type of sentimental value.
That's true too.
Because I'm thinking of something like, do you ever do you do any regifting?
Yes, I just did it yesterday.
Now we do a lot of because like these kids, like I don't know what it is about our generation. Like we go to parties and like people will bring like more than one gift. Yeah. Or they'll bring like a bag with like hella shit in it. Like damn, you only need one gift.
Right.
But like they just get so much. I'm not gonna let you open all this right now. So it gets put into this like closet. And then it's like, all right, we'll slowly bring it down as you guys earn it or, show that, you need it. And then a lot of times, like, oh, shit, we got to go to a party last minute. Do we want to go shopping or is there something in here we can give them that nobody's going to miss?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same thing. Now, with the phone, one, I would definitely still have the phone if she didn't switch to a different carrier, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna give you the new one anyway. You just got to give me that one." And I was like, "All right." I would have definitely still had what was that, the 7?
Yeah.
Would have still had it for probably another few years. I think it probably looked away because I only had it for less than 6 months before I upgraded.
Did you feel bad about doing it? You got to back up, man. We trying to pod right now. You on the phone talking about all this stuff. Can we finish?
I don't think I felt bad about it. That's what I'm saying, because it was given to me for functional reasons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have traded anything in that y'all gave me that held some type of sentimental value.
Yeah.
Y'all were just like, I'm sick of the green bubble. How can we do this? And y'all made it happen with this. So, yeah. And that's how I looked at it. Now, in real life, if you had been harboring some feelings about it, because you did make a couple jokes.
I was making jokes.
Exactly.
I never felt the way about it.
But I'm saying, if you did, I would have been like, damn, I wasn't even thinking about that. Maybe I should be more considerate. But I feel like I would have been considerate if it would have been something that I thought like, oh yeah, this has some sentimental value.
The way I look at it is, if you give somebody something, it's theirs to do whatever they want with it.
True. So if I gave someone and they did something with it, I'm not going to feel no type of way.
Yeah.
But let's just say my new birthday present. If I just said,
now that's different.
If I just resold this bike,
you resold the bike, that's different.
I would have been like, damn, like everyone came together for me, and blah blah blah. Try to make me feel like I was actually
Plus
part
it was
of this
new
neighborhood.
though. I think an item being new.
Yeah.
And like really worth something. Like I got a Bluetooth speaker from a White Elephant party maybe like 2 years ago, a year ago. And like I was like, oh, I'm gonna start using it when I play golf, since I've been out there like longer days now. So when I play music, me and my mans, we could talk about the songs or whatever, the time period. We pass the time by a little bit. Real male bonding shit going on right there. But the speaker that I had only lasts 4 hours. I was out there for 5.5 hours yesterday, which is a long ass day, right? But it died like on the 16th hole, and I didn't turn it on till the 4th. And I was like, yo, the functionality of this is the only time I would use this. So I gave it to the guy I was with. I was like, look, bro, you can have it. It's free. I went out and bought a better one, that's gonna last me, a little more, and it's a little louder. And whoever gave me that, I don't know who bought it or whatever. One, you bought it at like Ross or something like that. It was Sharper Image. It wasn't something like super legit. And you were just trying to get by on just bringing a gift. Sometimes you got to look at the reason why you bought said gift or you gave said item away. She was out with the out with the new, in with the, whatever the fuck that term is, man. I can't get it right. Out with the old, in with the new. There we go. She was out with the old, in with the new. And so like, yo, when you're trying to give me some shit that you don't even want, do not put a prerequisite on, what I'm supposed to do with that. Especially now your homegirl is letting us know too that she's helping somebody in their business. They're finding use out of your trash.
Yeah.
Same thing applies, technically to some relationships.
If she's feeling some type of way, it just sounds like the clothes and stuff just had some type of sentimental value. And to where it had not a whole bunch to where she wanted to hold on to it, but some where she was like, oh, if my friend wears it, that's good enough for me.
Right.
But it wasn't enough to get rid of. And so because it holds any sentimental value, like you said, like if you give something away, you can't expect them to do whatever your plan was for it. Yeah. Like it's not yours anymore at that point.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So
you got debt collectors calling you.
Word.
All right, man. Let's see what else we got. Let's go ahead and switch off. We'll end it off on this last topic right here. Shout out to everybody that made it an hour with no sound with us. They were just looking at us going, I bet you nobody did that. An Indian man who had been declared dead and placed in the morgue freezer on Friday was I don't know what Friday this was because it's been in there for a few weeks. On Friday was discovered alive by his family by the following day. His name is Shrikesh Kumar, 45, was in critical condition after he was hit by a motorcycle in Morabad, the agents France reported. I don't even know what the hell that means. Upon arrival at the private medical facility, he was declared dead and transported to a government hospital. The emergency medical officer examined him. He did not find any signs of life and hence declared him dead. The hospital's medical superintendent told the France press. The doctor said police were informed of the man's death before the body was placed in a morgue freezer. His family arrived 6 hours later. Damn, that's a long time. When the police team, it probably took a while for them to gather the information. When the police team and his family came to initiate the paperwork for the autopsy, he was found alive. Kumar told the agency, "There's nothing short of a miracle," Kumar added. It's crazy that you had this story in there. And the reason why it's crazy to me is that there was a guy we were playing golf with yesterday. He had a noticeable lip. You know, he had, like an eye that was a little, spaced out. And, he had a slur. And, we had him playing behind us for like 3 or 4 holes. And when we had him behind us, I felt bad on the last hole because he was playing by himself. And you got to wait on 4 people to play each time. I said, bro, come play with us. So talking to this man, he said that he was involved in an automobile accident. He was only given less than a 1% chance to live. And I was like, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like man will tell you something about something like, oh yeah, when we see things of this nature or whatever, people don't typically make it out of it or whatever the case may be. And it's like, bro, that's nuts to me because at the end of the day, miracles do exist. You know what I mean? As much as like we want to back things by science and stuff like that, there's a lot of unexplainable shit. You know what I mean? And with that being said, it's okay. And like things like this story that you just, put in here and everything, like lets me know that, like there has to be a higher power somewhere. We all pray to a God. We may all be talking about the same person. You know what I mean? He just goes by different names again amongst different groups. But there's a higher power out there. You know what I mean? Especially when you look at stories like that. I don't know if you technically wanted to go down that route when you put that in there.
It's kind of wild to wake up in a freezer.
Yeah, there we go. So hey, look, I wanted to get the sentimental out the way. We go ahead and get these jokes off. It is wild to wake up in a freezer. I think that would probably, I don't know, maybe it's hard to stop and then, kick back on again or whatever. Who knows?
No, I think stories like that and I think movies, just with those types of miracles in place, I felt like, if I were to ever have like a wild diagnosis that just didn't look too good, I could still, that'd be probably the point of those sharing these stories, like to instill that type of hope to where if something were to happen to you, like last minute, like don't ever stop fighting because some crazy shit might happen.
Yeah.
And initially I was just like, damn, my man was in the freezer for 6 hours.
That's a long time, bro.
I didn't go down the deep road when I saw it. And I
don't
was
blame you for that one. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So
you suing the hospital for that or the coroner?
No, I'm just thankful to be alive at that point.
So
I'm taking.
Yeah, but people try
everything's
to sue
a money.
for...
So then it's funny that you said that, right? So then my man's when dude brought up the story, he said something else had happened to a guy like that I ran into previously. And he said that I wanted to have an interview. My man said he has a podcast. I think he just does them like when he meets people. He's not like on a timely basis like us. And so the guy was like, yeah, $250 for me to do an interview. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like my man's really trying to monetize off
interview
his
him?
The guy that had the miracle. His flat rate was like $250 for him to do an interview. And I'm like, yo.
That's probably how he makes his paper, speaking engagements.
$250 is crazy though.
Hey, people out here getting a whole lot to talk about. The little thing you was talking about that Helix call you for every year.
Yeah.
People get paid for shit like that.
I'm sure. But you got to be really, really. I need look. If you don't have no people skills and you charging me $250, bro, look, man. Me, I'm giving you energy. I'm bringing out the board. I got the expo pens out.
We'll keep the ice cold.
Fam, you come to one of my seminars.
Get you a sandwich.
Film me then. I need to be able to. You got to be able to show people that you're worth something to be able to monetize it, which is why I don't sit up here and try to.
The story is worth $250. Take it or leave it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I ain't got it for him. We can talk. There's so much other shit to talk about. I don't need to interview.
Oh man, don't act like your game was the only game that was important on Thursday. We an hour and 10 in.
Oh my bad. Yeah. You can do that for you.
There you go. Oh look, it feels great to do it.
It don't. Motherfuckers put Pornhub my shit. 3 cheers.
3 cheers. What you got up?
I got a couple.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, 3 cheers. I saw this. It's probably one of my Facebook things too. Well, obviously no. Damn, I just said a lot of words. None of
them went together.
Shout out to my brother Dan. Hit the big 4-0 this week.
Shout out Dan.
And like you, it's an expensive month for him.
Yeah.
Son was a week before. You got the Christmas and the holidays come up, and right after that's over.
I tell people, don't give me nothing.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. My mom asked me, well, what about some golf gloves? Well, I can always use some more gloves.
There you go.
Yeah, the glove always give me something that's useful.
And I got another one. I got a couple. Lil Uzi Vert. One of them. That the one with the forehead stone?
Yeah.
Okay. He paid somebody's college tuition a few years back.
I do remember
and
that. He promised to do so.
No, so he just got invited to the dude's graduation.
Oh. That's
and they posted a picture together. And I'm like, you chose him? I don't know the story. I just saw that. I was like, oh, good for him. Good for him. And damn. I think I got one coming up. I don't know what that third one was. I got a fourth one though. Shout out to anybody. We are doing the clothing drive, but simultaneously we were doing G had his first fundraiser at school. So anybody who contributed to that, I hope you didn't do the per lap because you know that boy, they had to stop him. He hit the cap. But that was also something I put on Shit You Wasn't Outside for, the jogathon. That's basically what it was. They were running for whatever they were running for. And it's kind of wild to think about how we used to cheat at that and like put extra laps on markers, not knowing we were costing people money. But yeah, so he ran 36 laps. And
the whole time? No cheating?
Not only he didn't cheat. I don't think he understands that concept yet.
He ran more laps than any kid at the school?
I believe so.
That's crazy.
But
did he sleep that night?
Yeah, he was up barely. No, you mean that night after?
Yeah,
no. You would have never known. And I guess over the PA, they're like, "All right, y'all, enjoy. They're gonna be nice and tired when they get home." I was like, "Except him." But nah. So what made me proud of him was because G, he didn't do no like playing around like with his friends and we're actually playing tag. We're just running in a circle. Like he ran by himself. Yeah, and he was focused the whole time to get to the 36 because that was the cap. And the drive in his eye, like even like there was like a 2-minute warning, and I guess there was like a 10-second countdown. And during the 10-second countdown, he was in the midst of going to get to the water table. And when he heard the 10-second countdown, he went back onto the field and tried to run out another one. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who donated.
Track and field may be in his future, like long distance running.
Yeah, long the marathon joints.
Yeah, which is fine. He got the body type for it.
That and
he built like one of the Kenyan dudes.
Most people that play sports, if track season is in their sports off season, they usually do that anyway.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely be in the
Track's
cards.
in the spring, I believe.
And damn, what was that third one I had? Whatever, it'll come to me eventually.
I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, that's why I loaded up.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I usually don't have nothing.
I was like, yo, I get to take a day off. Cool. Hey, because I was about to be in here. Still got an event.
Yeah, I know. Hey, the funny part is now that I got this, I didn't have no outro lined up.
Would you be? It's all good.
But
no, I'll hold some dead air. Look, I know I told y'all that we was gonna go outside, and do this.
But it's cold.
But it's cold, bro. 45 degrees, 60 in the daytime. You probably only get like maybe 2 hours of premium sun. We ain't gonna be outside. We're just gonna go to the drop off locations and pick everything up and do what we can from there, man. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing all that, man. So I appreciate you guys for still listening. It's off season right now in regards to content and everything, and people doing stuff. I know everybody's really consumed in their lives, hanging out with their families and stuff like that. So I mean, if you're spending the time with us, on a trip, on a plane, or wherever the case may be, and you listening to us, I appreciate you guys. We always pick up listens around the spring, but for the ones that's been here to thug it out with us, thank you.
Good God.